my name is Emily, and welcome to the Goldberry Artisans podcast. I'm coming to you from the beautiful state of Maine in the beginning of August, and I'm excited to talk to you about knitting today. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and to everyone who has left such sweet comments. I was not expecting that anybody would actually watch my podcast, but then so many of you have been so kind and just left such sweet, encouraging comments on my other episodes so far. So thank you so much for that. And I would love to know how you found me, because all of a sudden there's people subscribing to me, and I want to get to know you, but I don't know where you found me, or so feel free, if you leave a comment, you can just tell me a little bit about yourself. I'd love to get to know every one of you. So thank you all. Thank you so much for that. That's really been motivating me to record this next one. So thank you. So I'm recording this. If you hear any noise in the background, my little sisters, are going to be coming outside soon to play in the sprinkler. So they're not yet. I'll warn you. So for anyone who's new, just a little bit about me. I am a college student. I live with my parents and my 8 siblings. So as a college student, I have a budget. I have a part-time job, but I don't have a ton of money to spend really expensive yarn. So that's one thing that I like to talk about is just sort of budget-friendly yarns and knits and things. So today I'm going to be talking about what I have on the needles, my little wimpy one finished object, and a few other crafting adventures that I have had. So I wrote out show notes, but then I left them in the house and I didn't feel like going to get them, so I'm hoping I remember everything I wanted to talk about. So first up, I will talk about my socks. These are the Agatha Socks by Claire of the New Hampshire Knits podcast. It has just a beautiful twisted rib at the top. I'll turn it, there we go. Twisted rib at the top, and then this super stretchy, pretty lace pattern. So I finished the first sock. I don't remember if I had this finished before I recorded last time or not. And then this is the second sock. So I'm going to be entering these into the Podcaster Along Knit Along, hosted by Michelle of the Actually Knitting audio podcast. Since Claire is a podcaster, I can enter these. The goal is to use either a pattern, a yarn, or a stitch marker, or project bag or something. Basically anything that's been created by a podcaster. So I'll be entering these socks. I'm knitting these in Knit Picks Stroll. I don't remember the colorway. And I can also enter them. She has a few people who sponsor her show, and one of them is Knitter's Pride. And if you use something that a sponsor creates, then you get an extra entry. So I'm using Knitter's Pride double pointed needles. They're so beautiful. Hold on. Sorry, my camera makes funny noises when it focuses, and it doesn't like to autofocus, so. There we go. So these are just, you can see the stitch pattern a little better. But these knitting needles are beautiful. Look at that. So gorgeous. I love them. I'm happy. So, yeah. So those are the Agatha Socks. Next up, I feel like a lot of this I've been talking about a lot because I've been working on them for so long. Because it's summer. I don't do as much knitting during the summer as I do the rest of the year when it's actually cool outside. It has been so hot outside. All last week was awful. I got hardly any knitting done. It was so hot. I live in Maine. I don't like hot weather. I'm not a fan. That's okay. But that's just why I haven't been knitting a lot lately. Except for this has actually been working quite a bit. This is the Flora Cowl by Carrie Bostic Hogue from the first issue. Well, so far the only issue that's been published of making. So now I've talked about this before, but it's getting pretty long. I switched skeins here. So this the pattern photos, it's a low hang, it's a large cowl So the model in the photos, in some photos she has it just worn like this, and some it's wrapped around. So I think I'm gonna knit to the end of the second skein, and then see. I know I talked last time about how I wasn't overly happy with the color. I just wasn't sure whether, well, not like unhappy, like, oh no, Knit Pick sent me the wrong yarn, but just I don't really know if I like this yarn color or not. I'm kind of, it's been growing on me. It's a nice neutral color. So the yarn is Knit Pick's Lindy Chain in the Gosling colorway. It's been falling apart because I move it from one purse to another bag to a backpack and bring it with me. Because at this point I have the lace pattern basically memorized. Like after the first repeat, I really didn't need to look at the lace chart. So it's a pretty simple lace pattern, but nice lightweight project for summer. And since I have the lace pattern pretty well memorized, it's easy to work on while I'm doing other things, like while I'm riding in the car, while I'm talking to people, while I'm doing whatever else it is I do. Next, here, I'll show this next. Well, since we're talking about making, the Making magazine, I cast on, I talked about this last time. Let me get untangled here. I cast on for the Flora Cardi, which uses the same lace pattern as the Flora Cowl. I use it along the edges of this short sleeve cardigan. Now, I have purposely not done a lot on this, well, not only because I just cast it on a couple days ago, but also because my family, we are going on a big vacation down to Kentucky and Tennessee. We're leaving next week, and this is going to be one of my car knitting. I'm going to bring this and a couple pairs of socks to work on. So it's knit in one piece, which is even easier. I'm really bad at actually seaming things. I seriously have a sweater sitting in my room, blocked, and I've finished the knitting on it a year ago maybe. I'm really bad. But yeah, so it has the lace pattern on the edge, and the body is just stuck knit. Oh, hold on. Sorry, gotta focus on this again. I'm knitting this. I don't remember whether I talked about buying these needles last time. I'm using Knit Pick's interchangeable circular needles. This is my only tips for these interchangeables, but they're beautiful. If you look at the colors, I love them. They're so smooth. And so far, I haven't had any problems with the joins. Now, honestly, I was not entirely sure how interchangeable needles work because people always talk about them, but never really show them. So yeah, so they just screw. This comes right off, and it comes, when you buy them, it has a little thing that you can stick right on the end so it doesn't get caught on anything. Because I kept saying, oh, I need this size in circular needles, I need this size, I need this size. But then I finally decided, wait a minute, instead of buying a whole bunch of circular needles, I can start building a set of interchangeable needles. Because I thought about buying a set of interchangeable needles before, but I didn't want to spend $70, $80, $90. I didn't have that much money to just spend on a whole interchangeable set. And I think it was Sue from the Legacy Knits podcast was talking about interchangeable needles, and she said, well, she said, well, people, you can just buy them a little bit at a time. You don't have to buy them all at once. And I thought, duh, I don't have to spend that much money on a whole set. I can just buy the ones that I need as I need them. So, because I've been the past, I don't know, maybe year of my knitting, I've been doing a lot more with fingering weight, and I'm starting to get into lace weight projects. So I need to work on my collection of smaller circular needles, and even double pointed needles. Like I have one set of ones, one set of twos, one set of threes, but then I would like to be able to have more. And I need to really give Magic Loop another try. I've attempted it a couple of times, but I think maybe part of the problem was that I didn't have a cord that was long enough, but this cord is pretty long. Because then you can just buy circular needles instead of circular and double pointed needles. But I've tried it a couple times, wasn't a big fan. Oh, there's an ant. Hello friend, go away. Sorry. So I've attempted Magic Loop, didn't really like it. I need to give it another try though, see if I would like that. see. Right now I'm keeping this in a nice little plastic bag. We have cats. We have 3 cats. 2 of them like to chase yarn. The other one likes to chew on plastic. So basically my stuff isn't terribly safe sometimes, but I try. And the last project that I've been working on is, again, it's so boring. I work on the same things. The Waiting for Rain shawl. Oh, I stopped in the middle of a row. And again, see, this is my problem. I have short circular needles. A lot of my needles I've just inherited, you know, whether it was from my grandmother or from people who knew I knit and they gave them to me because I didn't use them anymore. So I'm just going to use what I got. So this, if you can picture this as a nice shawl. This is the Waiting for Rain shawl by Soft Sweater. It's her design name on Ravelry. So it's mainly garter stitch construction of these lace short rows. I've been really enjoying this. It is different because a lot of projects are either, that I've made in the past, are either you have to concentrate on it the whole time, or they're mindless most of the time. This one is kind of in between. Like, I don't really like to pack it maybe for car knitting or to knit while I'm out and about, or while I'm, you know, visiting with people or whatever, because, you know, you can do the garter stitch sections and all of a sudden I need to concentrate and look at the chart for the lace rows. So that's why I haven't made tons and tons of progress in this one. This is good Netflix knitting though. Then again, all knitting is good Netflix knitting. But yeah, so I'm just kind of making it up. I'm really not following the pattern so far as how far apart she spaces the short rows. I'm just kind of making it up as I go and hope it turns out okay. And I did buy, last time I talked about, I was concerned about not having enough of the dark gray color, but I did order another skein. So, and oh, I always forget to say what yarn it is. This is Quince & Co. Finch, I believe in Iceland and Storm. I think Iceland is the light gray, Storm is the dark gray. Do I have, no, I lied. Look at me, I actually have tags. Frost and Storm. Frost is the light gray, Storm is the dark gray. So yeah, and this is the first really big garter stitch project I've done in a while, so that's kind of fun. When I first started knitting, as soon as I learned how to purl, I didn't really want to do garter stitch anymore because a lot of yarns that I had were like variegated, and I hate this, how it looks like the wrong, so because this is the wrong side of the knitting, so that you can see where the garter stitch stripes, and when you knit garter stitch with variegated yarns, you get that look on both sides, and I hated it so much. So I kind of abandoned garter stitch for a while after I learned how to knit, stuck with a lot of stockinette stitch, or especially once I learned how to knit in the round. I love making socks. There was one year I knit my whole family socks for Christmas out of whatever yarn I had lying around, which consisted of a lot of sport weight acrylic yarn. But I mean, some of my family actually wore them. So my brothers actually, they wore right through them. I think they wore them a lot, like in the winter, like with their boots and stuff. Yeah, that was very adventurous of me. Also, a lot of my siblings had smaller feet. Now, all 3 of my brothers, they're all younger than me, but they're all taller than me and have big feet. Can't see myself making the whole family socks anytime soon. Now, my one finished object is this headband. Hold on. It's not going to want to show up. Let's see. This is the Hira headband. It's from the book Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders. I actually was up to about here until I needed the needles that I was using for something else. And so I finally picked it up and finished it. I'd been working on this forever. I made a bunch of these. They knit up really quickly, so they're good gifts, good use of leftover sock yarn. Oh, there's something in the woods. I just need to put buttons on the end. Yeah, so this is the Hira headband. This is really one of the first big projects I did with a real chart, like with a charted pattern. So I used to just follow all the written instructions, and then I thought, I'm crazy, how about I try the chart? So, yeah, because I bought the book Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders. I forget who published it or who the editor is, but I've had it forever. I've had it for several years, and I've knit a lot of stuff from it. back before I really discovered Ravelry and the wonder of online patterns. But books are still amazing. I love knitting books. So yeah, so there's like, I think it's 101 projects. There's a whole series of 101 One Skein Wonder different books. So my one finished object, and I didn't even knit all of it since I talked to you last time, because I've been working on a few other things. First, so last time I said I wanted to learn how to use my drop spindle because I just bought some fiber. And yay! I did a little bit, not a whole lot, still working on it, definitely uneven and bumpy, but I love it. I've looked at a few different like YouTube tutorials just to learn. But then this week, Abby from Good Stitch Fibers, she has a blog and an Etsy shop. She has a class on a website called Skillshare on drop spindling. And I think if you go, I'll include the link in the show notes. If you go on her blog, you can follow a link to get 3 months of Skillshare for 99 cents. I think it's 99 cents a month. So I think I'm going to be doing that to really learn how to do it. It's the drafting that gets me getting that consistent. So it's funny, I was home alone for a couple hours while I was working on this, and then my family came home and I was like, oh, look what I did, and they all said, that's great, Emily, I'm glad that you're happy. They don't understand the obsession. My younger sister, actually, she thinks I have a problem. She keeps telling me I don't need to bring knitting everywhere. I'll be like, oh, I don't know what to make next. And she'll be like, Emily, maybe you just can not knit for a while. I look at her, do you even know me? Are you related to me at all? You don't understand? Yeah, but I know that you understand. You understand how happy it is to learn a new skill. How happy it is. How happy you are when you learn a new skill. There we go. Sometimes the grammar just doesn't come. So, the other thing I've been working on is some cross stitch. Hold on. I forgot to unpin this beforehand. I have like the excess fabric all pinned up so that it doesn't get in the way. Now, there's 3 little things on here. 2 of them I'd completed a couple months ago, and the last one is what I've been working on. So, okay, how cute, hold on, let me focus here. How cute is that? Anne and Gilbert, and it says carrots. Seriously, that's adorable. And then, Anne and Diana, kindred spirits. I mean, they're so cute. And then I just started this a couple days ago. It's going to have Green Gables and then have Anne and Marilla and Matthew all over here. Isn't it just the cutest thing? So this pattern I bought from an Etsy shop. It's called Pedal Pusher, but she also has some different ones on Craftsy under the name Brooks Books Publishing. I'll have links to everything in the show notes. So, yes, she has a lot of other literary ones, like Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, Little House on the Prairie, and then things like Wizard of Oz. I think she has some Little Women patterns, and some of them are on Craftsy, but not on Etsy, so you can look at both places. A lot of the ones on Craftsy are like single figures, like Meg from Little Women. While some of the ones on Etsy are like this, where it's bigger panels with multiple people. But they're just so, like, look. Hold on, just look at it. They're little girls, they're so cute. Because I've never been one for a lot of embroidery before. But I liked her patterns because it was so small. Not tons of colors. And I had recently inherited a ton of craft supplies from... There's a woman I know, it was her sister, was giving stuff away, and I get like almost every color of DMC floss, which is amazing, because that meant I didn't have to go buy it. So that is what else I have been working on. So that's exciting. Knitting, but also a few other slightly cooler crafts that I can work on. So the cross stitch and the spindling. And my camera is going to stop, so I'm going to start another segment. It feels kind of silly to start another segment because that's most of what I have to share with you. I don't have like really another topic to talk about. Oh, except travel knitting. I was going to talk a little bit about that. I always struggle with knowing what to pack when I'm going on a trip because I want to have enough knitting to last me, but I don't want to completely overwhelm my suitcase with yarn, especially since we are 11 people and we are going camping. So space is limited. So that's why I decided on a lace weight sweater, because lace yarn takes up less space. So, and it's easier, it's going to be easier to like fold up as I work on it. And then I've got some sock yarn that I can make a couple pairs of probably pretty vanilla plain socks. So that's probably what I'm going to bring. But I still feel like that's not enough. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks. It's a long time. And we're driving all the way from Maine to Kentucky and then back again. It's going to be a lot of time in the car. So I'm going to have to do a gauge swatch and block it and everything before we leave. But I might bring yarn for another lace sweater. Because I know I've talked about it before. I have enough yarn for 2 lace sweaters. So that might be what I do, just in case. Because you don't want to run out of knitting. I don't know. That's how I stay sane in a car. I put my headphones in, listen to an audiobook, and knit when I'm in the car that long. So what about you? What do you pack when you go traveling? I know socks are a pretty popular thing to bring in the car. So yeah, so probably some socks. Sweaters don't seem like they'd be good car knitting, but a lot of stockinette stitch, easy to pick up and put down when if we stop somewhere. So yeah. The one problem is, what do I put in the suitcase? And what do I put like in a backpack to bring along with me? Because I always bring my camera, but my camera bag is pretty bulky, so I try not to have a lot of other stuff just kicking around the floor of the car. Well, van, you can't bring a car. So do you have any tips or suggestions for packing travel knitting? And what do you bring when you go on a car trip? So that's all I wanted to say. So I'll see you. I'll be gone. I'm recording this on Wednesday, August 3rd. It's the 3rd. I'm not in school and I don't have to write the date on everything. I forget what the day is, but it's August 3rd. I don't know when exactly I'll have this edited and uploaded, but I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I'll try to post some stuff on Instagram. On Instagram, I am Goldberry Artisans. So I'll try to post some stuff on there, but I'll probably be pretty absent for the next couple of weeks. But I can't wait to come back and talk to you lovely people again. So let me know, what do you bring when you're travel knitting? And I will read your suggestions before I pack, hopefully, and as I go. So I will talk to you all later, and until I see you again, happy knitting. Bye.